Ronald William Howard was born on March 1st, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, into a household steeped in creativity and the uncertainty of show business. His parents, actor Rance Howard and actress Jean Spiegel, immersed him in film from an age when most children were still learning to walk. By 18 months, he appeared in Frontier Woman, unknowingly beginning a lifelong relationship with the camera. Moving to California in the late 1950s, young Ron's childhood transformed from ordinary moments to a disciplined schedule of scripts, tutoring, and rehearsals. It was a golden cage, safe but isolating, brimming with expectations he never chose. Becoming Opie Taylor. Everything changed in 1960 when the Andy Griffith Show premiered, making 6-year-old Ron the beloved Opie Taylor. Audiences saw innocence incarnate, but behind the scenes, the pressure was constant. While his peers played outside, Ron studied quietly in a tiny room near Stage 40 at Delu Studios, absorbing lessons from his father on authentic performance. He learned to act honestly, never cutely, a lesson that masked the anxiety beneath. Though adored nationwide, he carried the weight of being everyone's ideal child, while rarely being allowed to simply be himself. This duality would shape his adolescence and future choices. Childhood in Hollywood's machine school life was a constant balancing act between regular classrooms in Burbank and rush tutoring on studio lots. On The Music Man in 1962, an 8-year-old Ron struggled to master a dance routine, whispering his fears to Shirley Jones. Clever camera angles hid his anxiety, keeping audiences unaware of the internal struggle. His upbringing, dictated by scripts and parental guidance, left him with a persistent feeling of performance obligation. Early fame granted him love and recognition, yet it also instilled a deep sense of responsibility that carried through every stage of his life, quietly shaping his identity. Teen years and happy days. By the 1970s, Ron had transitioned from Opie Taylor to Richie Cunningham on Happy Days, a second defining role that solidified his place in American pop culture. Millions adored him, yet he felt trapped in a character that remained untouched by the world's changes. Publicly successful, privately restless, he sought ways to reclaim autonomy. Adolescence in Hollywood left him craving control over his path, and while the recognition brought admiration, it also reinforced an early lesson: to always please, to always perform, and to continually prove himself worthy, a lesson that haunted him long into adulthood. Discovering directing. By 1977, at 23, Ron knew he needed an escape from acting's constraints. Directing became the outlet through which he could claim ownership of his life and work. His first opportunity came with Roger Corman on Grand Theft Auto, a modest project that marked the start of a career defined by variety, ambition, and meticulous craft. Films like Night Shift, Splash, Cocoon, Willow, and Parenthood followed, each reflecting a mix of commercial appeal and personal artistry. Directing allowed him to step behind the camera, controlling stories rather than being consumed by them, a necessary shift for someone shaped by decades of imposed expectations. Apollo 13, Triumph and Burnout. In 1995, Apollo 13 tested Ron like no other project, demanding 612 zero-gravity sequences and 18-hour workdays over 90 consecutive days. The production pushed him to the edge. Exhaustion and physical collapse on set were reminders that passion has limits. Success, accolades, and public admiration came hand in hand with personal sacrifice, and he began recognizing that even professional triumphs carried a hidden cost. The lessons of relentless dedication, learned since childhood, now applied on a massive scale. While the world celebrated his skill, Ron faced the invisible toll of long hours, weighty responsibilities, and the personal sacrifices demanded by Hollywood excellence. Family sacrifices. Arguably, Ron's heaviest burden was the distance imposed by work. In 1991, filming far and away in Ireland for 6 months left his wife, Cheryl, to raise newborn twins, Jocelyn and Bryce, alone. Returning home, he found his children barely recognizing him, a moment that he later admitted broke something deep inside. Similar patterns repeated with Cinderella Man in 2005. These absences forced Ron to confront a lifelong pattern instilled in childhood, a compulsion to always say yes, always prove worthiness, and always prioritize external expectations over personal needs. The cost was deeply personal, and recognition came only after years of reflection. Parenting and regret. By their 50th anniversary in 2025, Ron openly acknowledged wishing he could trade every award for lost time with his children. Despite the fame, fortune, and acclaim, he realized the personal sacrifices outweighed public accolades. He grappled with the realization that success is hollow if it comes at the expense of family. Years of working on set, traveling, and pursuing professional fulfillment had created distance he could not undo. While his career inspired millions, Ron's introspection highlights the often hidden toll of Hollywood life, particularly for child actors who grow up believing love and approval must always be earned. Struggles with siblings. Ron's private battles extended beyond career and family. His younger brother, Clint, shared the rare experience of growing up inside Hollywood's machinery. Addiction became a profound challenge for Clint, surviving a 1990 ultimatum, only to confront a life-altering illness years later. Ron, accustomed to solving problems and guiding others, faces this struggle with helplessness. He has spoken about it with trembling honesty, acknowledging that some battles cannot be fixed with talent, effort, or direction. The pain of watching a loved one suffer, especially someone who shared similar experiences, is a reminder of life's uncontrollable aspects, despite decades of discipline and accomplishment. Reflections on fame and legacy. As Ron approaches 71 with a reported $200 million legacy, he reflects on the dichotomy of a life lived in the public eye. He has told the world stories, created unforgettable cinematic moments, and shaped culture through decades of work. Yet the silence between projects has revealed a sobering truth. He spent much of his life performing for others while forgetting to live for himself. Fame and recognition, while satisfying professionally, cannot replace the ordinary moments missed with family, the simple joys of daily life, or the chance to be fully present in his own story. Confronting personal truths. In recent years, Ron has opened the door to personal truths long concealed. Interviews and memoirs reveal painful memories, deep regrets, and the weight of decisions made under pressure. He reflects on the lifelong impact of early childhood responsibility, the challenge of parenting amidst professional demands, and the loss of ordinary experiences he could never reclaim. These revelations underscore a lifetime of resilience, self-discipline, and artistry, yet also show the vulnerability that fame often hides. He acknowledges that understanding, sharing, and confronting these struggles is both cathartic and necessary, a quiet reckoning after decades in the spotlight. Lessons and perspective. Ron Howard's journey highlights the cost of early fame, the tension between professional accomplishment and personal fulfillment, and the hidden sacrifices of Hollywood life. While he has achieved unmatched success, the personal consequences, absences from family, private struggles, and confronting loved one's illness offer a complex portrait of a man shaped by circumstances he did not fully choose. His story is a reminder that behind even the most polished public personas, there are layers of vulnerability, lessons learned, and human challenges that can inform, inspire, and caution those navigating fame, ambition, and family. Legacy beyond the screen. Today, Ron Howard stands as more than a filmmaker or former child star. He is a man who has endured, reflected, and grown. His films remain timeless, but his real story is one of balance, sacrifice, and the pursuit of meaning beyond awards and recognition. As he turns 71, he reflects with honesty, acknowledging the cost of a life shaped by both opportunity and expectation. In doing so, he reminds the world that success is multidimensional, that human connection and presence matter as much as accolades, and that even a life in Hollywood cannot replace the quiet, invaluable moments of ordinary existence.